Wow, everyone. Well, that certainly was a heck of a weekend, wasn't it? With my internet being out, my life being thrown into complete disarray, and just being incredibly stressed out. I think today we need to get back on track and reassess. Let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about my status in Street Fighter 6. And let's have a nice, chill, relaxing gameplay session of Zelda right after today's Level 1 podcast. Okay. Today is Monday, the 19th of June, 2023. What a whirlwind week. Like, this is my next to last streaming day of the week. I feel like we just started. That's how weird this week has been because of the schedule and schedule changes that I did of my own accord. But then, of course, with this insane weekend that just happened where everything got thrown into crazy chaos, of course, let's talk about all of that so you know exactly what happened. A lot of people were asking me, what happened exactly with the internet? Do you know what caused it? What did you do when you had no internet? What happened yesterday because you weren't streaming, but then all of a sudden you started streaming out of nowhere, but you were dressed in different clothes and stuff? We're going to talk about all of that. But in reality, I'd just like to say I'm really happy that today looks like it's going to be back to normal. I need a day that's basically stress-free. Like, this is a really, really stressful weekend because when you don't know what's going on and the company responsible doesn't stay in contact with you with any kind of reasonable, expectations of when things are going to go back to normal. This is my business I'm operating. It's my work week and I can't work. But now also I can't really do anything at home because everything, honestly, today is relying on internet, correct? If you don't have internet, you can't do anything. Not only can I not do my streaming in my business, but I can't relax and watch stuff with my wife. I can't listen to music. I can't even go online and do anything that normally would do, pay bills, nothing, And we're going to talk about all that because a lot of people were like, well, why then can't you just use your phone to do stuff and everything? And there's a very good reason. Some people even said, well, Phil should definitely get a 5G hotspot for backup like this, so that at least even if he can't do gameplay, he could just stream. Well, again, there's a very good reason for everything the way it's set up. But man, it just led to a lot of confusion and uncertainty and stress. Yesterday was an incredibly stressful day for me, and that resulted in me coming back from having no internet to rushing and trying to do a Street Fighter 6 stream that ended up kind of being a shit show. I will publicly admit to all of you that yesterday was a very stressful day. And basically, I know for those who were here live that a lot of things went wrong and people were upset, and there's good reason. Reason number one, trolling. Because I came back out of nowhere to stream yesterday, the trolls took advantage of it. My moderators were not there. They didn't know I was going to be streaming. So there was no moderation at all on that first stream yesterday. An insane amount of trolls came, and they were insulting everyone under the sun. Myself, the viewers, just every possible thing, trolling. And a lot of people said it was like unwatchable. Well, if you were in the chat, you're probably right. When I'm playing Street Fighter, I can't just sit here and babysit the chat. I got to play the game. When I'm playing the game, I can't look at the chat. And that's exactly what happened, is these people took advantage of that, all right? In addition to that, I was so stressed out. I know I was not a good person to hang out with yesterday. I was so stressed out. I was screaming and yelling. I was complaining constantly. I was worried about every possible thing. I had everything on my mind. The fact that I had missed out on a stream and a half that was important to my business. And imagine if 1 week you were just told, no, guess what? You just can't work 2 days this week. And there's no sick time. There's nothing to make up for that. You just can't work. You're losing your income this week. It's like, wait, what? But I need that. Yeah. And this thing's weighing on my mind, and it shouldn't be, but it is. And the thing is, I feel like for a while, we were actually doing really good. Like, I would say for several months here, we were in a good vibe where things were going good. People were coming out to every stream. They were supportive. People liked the variety of games I was playing and the balance that we were doing. And to have this weekend happen, I really feel like it really threw a monkey wrench into stuff and screwed it all up. And I apologize for that. Anyone who was here yesterday and you feel like I was coming over as like a real jerk, I was coming over as a very agitated, very stressed out, getting really angry, stressed out, screaming at everyone, and or being overbearing last night because after having done, excuse me, after having done all of, excuse me, now I'm having a brain fart. After having, a 2 day, or excuse me, essentially 2 streams taken away from me, and having such a great streak of great streams and everything going on this month, to have that kind of have a really bad, slow support stream last night was killing me. And I shouldn't have said a word. I should have just said, hey, support if you want. But instead, I just kept mentioning it. And a lot of people got upset by that. And you know what? You're right. I shouldn't have acted like that. I felt like, I was talking just like I was back in the fall, which I tried to stop doing and improve from doing. And that was because of the stress, because of the stupid shit going on. And it's really stressed me out. And I didn't need to freak out. And I didn't need to be talking like that. And I apologize to everyone for yesterday, coming back from a bunch of stressful stuff going on, jumping right into more stressful stuff, and acting out of character. Today is going to be a better day. Today, we're going to relax. We're going to have a chill stream. We're going to have a normal paced stuff. Everything's going to get back into the swing of things normally, okay? Because I feel like I disappointed a lot of people yesterday. Phil's back, and they come back, and like, wow, he's really stressed, and he's acting like a jerk, and he's screaming, and, he's not having a good time with Street Fighter, and now he's talking about money again, and what the hell happened here? This wasn't like this. You're right. This stuff really could get to me, and it did. It got to me yesterday, and I'm sorry for that. I need to do better. Like I said, I'm human, and it's weird because we had such a great streak, such a great thing going, and then the stupid weekend screwed everything up and made me really feel awful, quite frankly, all right? So, let's talk about all of that, all right? I swear to you, I will try to do better. But let's talk about what happened, all right? Let's just get into it. Before we get to the schedule and everything, I think we should talk about what actually happened and give you a whole story of what happened over the weekend, all right? So, first of all, this was already a short streaming week, only a 5-day streaming week for me, okay? And basically, we're in a situation where I'm already pressed for time. I want to play all the games as much as I can, but at the same time, I know I can't please everyone, right? Plus, I need to squeeze in my React stream, which happens every Saturday. There's people who support DSP Reacts, and they deserve to have their React stream, regardless of the fact that it's a slower week, or excuse me, a shorter week. I need to have that React stream happen. So, I'm trying to figure all this out. And another determination that we made for this week is that this week I wasn't really going to play any new characters in Street Fighter 6, or if I did, I was going to keep it to a minimum. Instead, I was going to try to focus in on the characters I'd already been using and get better with them. So, on Friday, I started playing a daytime stream of Street Fighter 6, and I played with Blanca and Lily. And I was doing good and getting better, and then I ran out of time. And I'm like, dude, I'm in the groove right now. Let's just make the whole day Street Fighter 6, right? Let's do that. Because I feel like if I do that, I'm going to end up learning a lot more, and we're going to do better. And it was absolutely positively true. I did a late night stream of Street Fighter 6 on Friday, so it was just like Street Fighter Friday, all day with Street Fighter. I had the best time ever with Blanca. I had a 15 win streak. my most wins and losses ever with the character. I think it was like 19 wins and 4 losses. My rank went way up. I did really, really good. I was even learning good strategies and combos and things that were really outstanding. And, overall, just great stuff. Really, really great stuff, okay? So then Saturday happens. I'm like, well, we didn't do Zelda Friday night like we were supposed to because I decided to do Street Fighter 6 all day. So we'll do Zelda, Saturday night instead. Now, admittedly, some people are upset. They're like, well, you're supposed to do Zelda Friday night. You lie. Well, I mean, yeah, technically you're right. But at the same time, I do have the ability to change my schedule around. I was feeling what the audience wanted. They wanted more Street Fighter. I was doing good. I was getting better, right? So let's do it Saturday night instead. We'll bump it a day. So I did my usual DSP versus the internet stream, and I'd say it went pretty well. I would say since we're randomizing the playlists rather than just going first come, first serve order, I think that the videos we're watching, it's a little better. This week, by the way, we didn't get through all the videos. Definitely not. I think I want to say we got through like 20-something out of the 40 videos that were nominated, like the high 20s. So we maybe got through like 2/3 of the videos. So the random order worked because it allowed a variety of videos to be watched and not all the videos from the same people. So it's a good thing we're using the shuffle playlist. I feel like it really worked well. Okay? So then, as we're ending DSP versus the internet, I'm literally giving my closing thoughts on the final video that I'm reacting to. And as I'm giving my closing thoughts, boom, my internet goes out completely. Now, I've seen this happen before, but usually it's during a DDoS attack or DDoS attack, denial of service. And it looks just like that at first. And I'm like, oh man, did someone actually get my IP address and hit me with a denial of service? I don't know. But then something funny happened. I realized all the internet in the house went out. It wasn't just this internet line in the office that I stream with, because I have 2 internet lines. I have one upstairs, and this is for uploading and streaming. And I have one downstairs, and that's for things like the wireless connection to my phone, watching TV downstairs and stuff like that. So that way they don't cross over and they don't interfere with each other. So I'm like, if both lines went out at once, there's absolutely no way I got hit with a double DDoS. That didn't happen. It had to have been that the internet's actually out, legit. So I check everything, and yeah, everything's out. I contact my neighbor. Yes, my neighbor's internet's out too. All right. So I figure we'll wait a little bit. I'll have dinner. I can't upload or anything. Right now, here's the thing. When the internet goes out, the only way that I have the ability to go and talk to you guys is by connecting with my cell phone internet, the 5G internet that my cell phone has, all right, to their wireless network, excuse me, and to try to post up via Twitter or make a, community post via my phone. Now, here's the big thing, and this is what a lot of people didn't know or didn't understand. I don't have good cell phone reception at home. To give you some perspective, right now, I have 1 bar in my office, okay? If I move around my upper floor, I can get upwards of 3 bars, but it usually dips down to 1 bar or 0 bars all the time. It's not a consistent thing in my home, all right? It's just not good cell service here. And in fact, I need to drive around the corner, and then cell service is great. I have better cell service if I leave my block than if I'm on my block, all right? And it's not just my cell phone company. It's all cell phone companies here. It's just the service is not good here. The internet is fine. When the internet's working, my phone is always connected to my internet, and that's how I do everything from home. So some people think, well, why don't you get a 5G hotspot? Why don't you have the 4G backup that your internet company offers? Because it doesn't work. It's just as bad as my cell phone internet. I literally would not be able to stream on it because the connection is awful. You understand? And there's nothing you can do to fix that. If you have bad cell phone reception, you have bad cell phone reception. I just can't improve it. All right? It's one of the reasons why I need to have the internet I have, the very expensive business line of internet, because I can't use other alternate things. There's satellite internet. That's terrible out here. Like, I have to use Comcast. They're the one option I have to be able to do the streaming and stuff that I do on a daily basis. They're the only one. Other companies out here don't have the speed, don't have the capacity, and the cellular style satellite service isn't good enough. There's nothing you can do. Okay? Now, that being said, I tried my best to try. Oh, by the way, I just went to 2 bars as I'm sitting here. You see what I mean? It fluctuates like crazy. It goes 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 2, 0. That's how it works. So I try to keep you guys in the know. I let you know, hey, if I can come back tonight, I'll do the Zelda stream on late night. Sorry that the stream ended the way it did. But in the meantime, I have no way to turn off my stream on DSP Reacts. Excuse me. Because on YouTube, here's how it works. If you start a stream on desktop, the only way to turn off that stream is on a desktop computer. If you turn on a stream on your phone, the only way to stop that mobile stream is on your phone. You can't actually do the crossover. Like, I can't stop a phone stream on my desktop. I can't stop a desktop stream on my phone. The option's not even there. Okay? So this stream is endlessly on, and people are confused. They're going to the stream and talking in the chat and saying, is this stream still on? What happened? What happened to Philly? She's gone. It's very weird or bizarre or whatever. So people can't figure it out. So I can't turn the stream off. We're just stuck. It's endlessly going. So I try to log in to the Comcast website to get an update. And it takes forever because, like I said, my cell phone service is so bad. It's constantly just losing connection. It took me probably about 45 minutes to finally log into the Comcast site. And the Comcast site claims, oh, your internet will be back by 6:40 p.m. So I'm like, oh, good. I'll be able to do my late stream. So my wife and I can't do anything. We eat dinner. We're like, we can't do nothing. So we took a nap. We took a nap on the couch. What else are you going to do? There's no internet in the house. You can't do anything. So I wake up at 6:40 p.m. and I go and check. There's no internet. So I go and check the business website. Oh, update. So now your internet should be live by like 7:45. Oh, wait a minute. Right? Like, what is this? So I tell you all, I guess the stream's canceled because I can't come back. There's no internet. 7:45 comes and rolls around. There's no internet. Oh, they changed it now. 9:45. I was like, all right, I'm seeing a pattern here. What's happening is they don't know. They don't really care to actually communicate that. But instead, they're going to keep lying to the customer, which is probably the worst thing you can do. Instead of having unreasonable expectations, just don't give the expectation. I told you guys this a million times. You under-promise and you over-deliver. You don't over-promise and under-deliver. If they keep giving ETAs that are blatantly wrong, all they're going to do is piss off the customer. And that's exactly what they did. It's the worst thing they could do. Their customer service is fucking horrible. Okay? So, here I am thinking, oh, it's going to come back. Oh, it's going to come back. Oh, it's going to come back. Never comes back. So, basically, I have no internet all night. All right? So, first, my wife and I are like, well, what should we do? We have no internet. Well, we have some things to do around the house. We do some housekeeping. We actually had a series of cat newsletters that we had built up over a course of several months. We were reading and enjoying cat newsletters and stuff like that. Finally, it's apparent. It's like maybe 9-10 p.m. It's apparent the internet's not coming back. And we're like, so what are we going to do tonight? Because we have no internet. And everything we do is on the internet. Everything we watch, everything we listen to. And I'm like, well, you know what? We got rid of a lot of them. But we do still have some Blu-rays left. And we do still have the PS4. We could hook up the PS4 to the TV. And we could watch some Blu-rays tonight. So we started going through everything that I had. And I don't have that much left. I have like Christmas movies and stuff like that. Obviously not watching Christmas stuff now. I have a few Disney movies left over that we saved. I have the entire series of Fraggle Rock on Blu-ray. That's a childhood Muppet show that I used to watch when I was a kid on HBO, and I absolutely loved it. And I bought the Blu-ray at one point. We had the entire Batman animated series, which is kind of fun, and a few other odds and ends. Okay, so we're looking at all this. And, oh, Fringe, the whole TV show Fringe, that sci-fi show. I have that whole series on Blu-ray too. I saved that. So we're looking through it all, and my wife's making a tough decision. She's like, man, I don't know. Do I want to watch sci-fi? Do I want to watch more cutesy stuff? And we decide, let's watch Fraggle Rock. Why not? Just kill time watching Fraggle Rock. I haven't watched it in a million years. So we ended up watching a few episodes of Fraggle Rock. Took like, a couple hours of just watching Fraggle Rock. And by now it's time to go to sleep. We're like, well, hopefully the internet will be back by the morning. What else are you going to do, right? So I tell you all before I go to sleep. I was like, say, guys, just so you know, this internet company, they keep lying. And, nothing we can do. I'll hopefully be back in the morning and be able to stream Dalsim for you guys like I want to. All right? So I go to sleep. And by the way, as I'm going to sleep, they update and it says, oh, your internet will be back by 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Okay. By the way, in the meantime, no, Comcast didn't reach out to any customer to tell them that there was an outage at all. You had to somehow figure it out for yourself. And if you have no internet, how do you do that? So they leave you in the weeds. They don't care. So they had a service where it says you can sign up to get text updates when your internet comes back. So I signed up for it. I said, yes, here's my cell phone number. Here you go. Text me when the internet comes back so I know what's going on and I can stream. Okay? So I go to sleep and I wake up in the morning. It's now, probably like 8:30 to 9 a.m. on Sunday. No internet. I was like, this is ridiculous. So now it's been, 16, 17 hours with no internet? What is going on? And so I talk with my neighbors again, and they're like, yeah, we still have no internet either. And now I'm actually able to go online. I'm able to see like a service map. And the service map says it's not just me, it's not just my neighbors. It's about 9,000 people, including businesses, that are all affected, and it's in my entire region, basically. 7 different zip codes were affected. And here's the thing that really sucks. It was Father's Day yesterday. There are a lot of businesses that rely on Father's Day business. Restaurants are huge on Father's Day. And guess what? All the restaurants around here had no internet. So they couldn't accept any internet-based payments. They could only take cash on Father's Day, a day when naturally they're going to have more business and need the business. So just think about that, right? So I'm looking everywhere, all right, and Basically, I'm in a situation where, what are we going to do? There's no internet. My internet company is not giving a proper ETA whatsoever. I said to my wife, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to call them. I'm going to talk to someone. And if they can't tell me when the internet's coming back today, we're just going to go out. We're going to have a whole day wasted. What an awful thing to sit at home all day with nothing to do, right? Because everything we like to do is on the internet. So we're not going to waste our day. We're going to go out and we're going to have a day out, which is rare that we would just do that. We never do that randomly. But hey, why not? Why not just go out and enjoy the day, right? So I call the internet company. They won't let you speak to a human. Because basically what you do is you put in your information. They say, oh, we detected you have an internet outage in your area. We cannot help you. I'm serious. This is what the line says, the automated line. We cannot help you with that. Even if you talk to a customer service rep, they still cannot help you with that. Therefore, we'll contact you when it's better. Have a good day. And the line hung up on me. Yeah. That's the customer support that Comcast has. The line tells you we can't help you and hangs up on you. Wow. That's amazing. That's really great customer support. Like, wow, thanks so much. Really makes me want to really stay with your company, doesn't it? Right? Like, that's just outstanding. So, after being hung up on and told that I can't talk to anyone, I said to my wife, we're going out. So, she got ready. Now, that entails putting on her makeup and everything and getting nice and dressed up. And so, we go out. And we went and got a little bit of food, and then we went out and we did a few things. Like, there were a few things we had wanted to do on our day off last week. We didn't have time because we had so many appointments and things, we didn't get to them. So, I'm not going to tell you too many of the things that we did, nothing too crazy. But one of the things that we ended up doing that we didn't get to do is we actually went to Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, for those who don't know, Bed Bath & Beyond is going out of business. They've declared bankruptcy. They're closing all their stores the end of this month. And they've had a store here that we used to go to, semi-frequently, not all the time. And we enjoy shopping there every once in a while. The problem was the prices there were always too expensive, and things rarely went on sale. So we went in there. The entire store is 40% off. Some things are 60 or more % off, all right? So we start going around the store, and we're like, oh, crap. It's not just like, junk. Everything they had in the store, and by the way, this store has a giant, drug department. I'm like, dude, we wanted to get allergy medicine for the longest time, and allergy medicine is incredibly expensive. Well, here it was like 50% off. So I got a bottle of Flonase that's normally $19 for like $9. I got, all these, basically we stocked up on everything. We walked in there and we stocked up on all the shit that we use, and we got it all like half price. I was like, wow, I'm actually really, really glad that we came here today, because we actually are going to save a ton of money in the long run with all this stuff where I stocked up on mouthwash, all the things that you would use in your house, that anything that's like toothpaste, mouthwash, medicine, those kind of things are usually expensive, and we got them all half price. I was like, wow, this is really good. So we ended up stocking up on that stuff. Now, while we're there, all right, I get a text from one of my neighbors, and one of my neighbors says, oh, I think the internet's back. And I'm like, well, I signed up for the text notifications from Comcast. They didn't send me anything. Are you sure? And another neighbor texts me and says, well, I'm not an internet expert like you, but all the lights are back on my modem, and I think my my internet's working. And I was like, oh shit, so maybe the internet went back on. So I said to Kat, all right, let's wrap it up here, right? We were already out for a couple of hours. Let's wrap it up. Let's try to get home. Now, what sucks is my wife's like, well, it kind of sucks because we did get ready to have a day out, like a whole day out, and we've only been out for a couple of hours. But at the same time, yeah, it makes sense to come home now the internet's on and everything. So we basically rushed back home, okay? And yeah, the internet was working again. So thank God my neighbors told me, because if my neighbors didn't tell me, I never would have known the internet was back, because again, Comcast didn't do what they said they were going to do and text me to tell me my internet was back. So as you know, I rushed to try to get a stream going, and there was no podcast, there was no intro, there was no relaxing, there was no talking. It was just go right into Street Fighter 6 with Dalsim, which is a daunting endeavor, because number one, Street Fighter 6 Dalsim is not as good as previous iterations of Dalsim. He's actually quite weak compared to other Dalsims. A lot of people who are playing the game at a high level are saying he's actually one of the worst characters in the game, like D tier out of the entire game. He has incredible disadvantages. And we'll talk about that in a second, because we'll talk about how I did in Street Fighter 6. I have my new stats updated and everything, which we're going to talk about. So I'm trying to play this character. Now, keep in mind, no lead in, no relaxing, I didn't go to training mode and practice anything. I got to watch one video, a 15-minute video the night before of someone who was high ranked playing with Dalsim, and I was trying to apply that to my gameplay. I did to some extent. There was a couple tricks I was learning and using, but no, for the most part, I didn't get to implement that much because my internet hadn't been working. I wasn't able to watch a bunch of videos to implement that into my gameplay. It was just me trying to learn for myself. So here I am, rushing back to stream, trying to do an impromptu stream for you guys with arguably the hardest character in the game to use. Big disadvantages, tough execution, doesn't have a lot of tools, but I'm still trying to win. And what ended up happening was I died a ton. I lost a lot. I by far, I know I got my ass handed to me way more than I won. And what's funny about it is, much like whenever I play Street Fighter, I ended up kind of getting into a groove and getting win streaks at the very tail end of the stream. So I basically, by the end, I stayed an extra hour, by the way. Normally I end my stream at 4, but because it started so late, like 2:30, I stayed till 5. By the time that it was almost 5, I was like, oh my God, we're about to get into like a groove. I'm winning and everything. And I ran out of time. I'm like, oh my God. So, and by the way, so we were like, what did you have for dinner? Well, do you really think that we were going to come home and cook after all that? No, so we just ordered some sandwiches. I got a Jersey Mike sandwich, a chicken cheesesteak like I usually get when I go there. Big deal, right? So I took a shower, and I jumped back on the late stream, and I tried to reapply myself with another 2 hours of Dalsim. Well, again, it went long. It was almost a 3-hour stream, and I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like I learned, but even with everything that I learned, it's not enough to beat basic guessing and spamming with other characters. I'll give you some examples, okay? Dalsim seems very effective at long range. In fact, that seems to be his best range. He wants to keep you at long range with the fireball guessing and his limbs, all right? And if he can keep you at that range and mix you up, basically that's his most effective. But the moment that someone gets close to Dalsim, now you're in trouble because basic moves beat a lot of his stuff from mid-range. For example, any character with a fast jab, all right, the jab will likely beat it. Anything Dalsim is doing up close, it'll probably beat it. And if anyone hits the jab, they can just keep mashing, and if it combos, now they get a dash cancel combo, and you lose 60% health. It's stupid. It's really stupid. Now, in addition to that, Dalsim, most of his moveset is a stretchy limbs, right? But not all of his stretchy limbs are cancelable. What does that mean? So let's say, for example, I'm doing a stretching punch, okay? Sometimes with certain stretching punches, he can just do the punch and that's it. You can't do anything after it. Other times you can do the punch and if it connects, or even if they block it, you can cancel it into another move and that makes it safe. Meaning, oh, they blocked it, oh, do a fireball. Now you've defended yourself. They can't hit you after, right? They can't punish the fact that you didn't hit them. The problem is, most of Dalsim's good normals are not cancelable. So I'm talking standing medium punch, standing fierce punch, standing medium kick. None of these are cancelable. And because they're not, anytime you throw one out, if someone just decides to randomly do the drive impact move, it blows right through it. And you have no ability to avoid it. Unlike other characters who they throw out a move and drive impact's coming out, oh, well, you'll recover and you can do your own drive impact. Dalsim's too slow. His limbs are slow, and therefore they're going to hit you with their drive impact, all right? And you're going to get owned. And again, this is what kept happening, is throwing out a fierce punch, and if it hits, wow, this is great. It pushes the enemy back. They're in the position I need, and I can win the round. Or I throw the fierce punch, and the enemy just happens to guess, and they mash drive impact. It goes right through my move, counter hits, 60+% damage combo. Well, they guessed. They just guessed. It wasn't like they knew what I was doing. They just guessed that I was going to do that one, and it hits me, and it just destroys me, And this is the problem with Dalsim. It feels like they didn't give him enough tools. Like, keep in mind, in Street Fighter V, Dalsim was similar, but there was no drive impact. So with no drive impact, people couldn't abuse this. Now they can literally just stand mid-range and just wait, and every time a limb comes out, drive impact. And 50% of the time, they're going to hit you. And it's like, what the hell is that? Like, that's incredibly dumb. That's not good game design. It feels like they didn't design this character properly in the game. Like, drive impact seems to work for most characters because most characters have cancelable moves. Thank you, Jasper, for telling us that. But in reality, Dalsim doesn't. And it makes him a weak character, in my opinion. And it sucks because I like Dalsim. I've always liked him as a character design. I really wanted to get into him in this game. But yesterday I played with Dalsim for 5 hours, all right? I don't feel like I significantly improved my gameplay at all. Maybe a couple things I learned from watching the video. But for the most part, I mean, I maybe did 1 or 2 new combos. And there's 1 or 2 new strategies to help keep away the enemy. But outside of that, I don't think he's very viable. When literally anyone who has good moves from mid-screen can dominate you and hit you with a 60% combo on a guess, and you have no recourse for it, that's awful. In addition, Dalsim really has no tools to get out of a corner. If someone has you cornered, all right, here's many options in this game that you can do. Option number 1, parry. Option number 2, break a throw. Option number 3, do the drive reversal, meaning you block their attacks and then you do the reversal move that knocks them out of the corner. Option number 4, do your own standing drive impact. Option number 5, do an anti-air if they jump. Or option number 6, dash forward. Out of all of those options, all right, here's the problem. I'll go through each of them. Number 1, the parry almost never works because Dalsim is a character who uses a lot of meter. So he almost never has enough drive meter to parry. He can probably parry once and then he's screwed. He has no drive meter left. Okay? Same thing with the drive reversal. It's good once or twice, but chances are they're going to keep getting you in the corner. You can't get out, and now you're screwed. He doesn't have a true reversal. So unlike other characters who say can get out of the corner because they have a true reversal with invincibility, Dalsim's only true reversal is his wake up level 3 super. He needs 3 super stocks to get out of the corner. That's terrible. And even then, it's not a fast move. It's a move where you have to capitalize on them not knowing you're going to do it and doing it with perfect reversal timing. He can't teleport out of the corner. If he does, he gets stuffed, which is terrible. There's no invincibility frames on the teleport to get out of the corner. And making matters even worse, when they are right next to you in the corner, Dalsim literally has no anti-air that will hit the enemy. Every anti-air he has, standing jab, standing medium punch, all get stuffed from point blank neutral jump range. So when he's in the corner, he's completely boned. You literally have to try to guess and guess correctly in a rock, paper, scissors situation. And it's not about skill. It's about the person just, hey, I'll just do my safe pattern. And 9 times out of 10, you're done. The whole round's over. And you can't, nothing you can do about it. It's just really poor character design. Again, it's not like that in Street Fighter V. When he played like this as well, they don't have these drive impact moves to keep you locked in the corner. So really, drive impact in some ways has completely changed Street Fighter in an interesting way, but certain characters now have been completely destroyed, and Dalsim's one of them, in my opinion. So to give you guys some perspective, okay, because I do have the updated stats here for you. Let me hit refresh. I played 2 sessions of Dalsim yesterday, okay? The first session that I did with Dalsim, I played about 58 matches. I had 31 wins and 27 losses for a 53% win-loss ratio. Okay? Then the second session, the night session, I played about 60 matches. I won 29 times and lost 31, which means I lost more than I won, and it was only 48% win-loss ratio. All right? So if you actually even it out, it's kind of funny. If you even out all the Dalsim gameplay I did yesterday, it's about 120 matches, and it's about even. It's just about, like, I think it is actually exactly 60-60. It's like half win, half loss, 50% win-loss ratio, which is not good. You want to have more wins than losses. Overall, with Dalsim, I have 123 wins and 111 losses. I have a 53% win-loss ratio with Dalsim. So more wins than losses, but still not good, right? It's not good at all. That you want to be better than that. And again, it really feels to me like it's the character's design that's holding me back, you know? And some people, while I was playing, were like, well, see, the problem is you're trying to actually get offense in. Like, wait, what? The problem is you're trying to get offense in. All you're supposed to do with Dalsim is stay away and zone with the fireballs and limbs and never get close. And I'm like... So I want you to think about this. There's characters who get one hit. That hit converts into a dash cancel, converts into a giant super cancel combo, into a level 3 super, 70% damage punish. That's what was happening all the time against my Dalsim. I throw out one wrong limb, drive impact, counter hit, giant combo, level 3, 60-70% of my life gone. With Dalsim to play it, I have to be hitting them hit by hit, limb by limb. Toss a fireball, try to get under, poke them, have the fireball land on their head, toss another fireball, zone, counter hit kick, cancel into fireball, Get a little jab combo going. Mix them up. Throw a fireball. Teleport to the other side. It's like insane amounts of work. Like crazy amounts of work. Like you're arguably doing 4 times as much as the person you're fighting. And then if that person gets lucky and hits you once, you lose 70% damage. It's just like, that's how they designed Dhalsim. Like, that's insanely bad. That's not even, you know, here's the thing. If you like the flow of Dhalsim gameplay, then it's kind of fun. But my God, it would be like, just think about it. You go to work, all right? And you sit down at your desk, and you have a pile of papers this fucking high in front of you. This high. This is your workload for the day. And you look over at all your coworkers, and they have piles of paper on their desk that are this high. So here's you, what you have to do today, and then here's what everyone else has to do. It's like, what? That's Dhalsim in a nutshell. Work your ass off. No real reward for your work, but work your ass off to the same thing that everyone else has an easy way to do it, but you don't have it. You got to fucking really stress out and go crazy and never make a mistake. Because God forbid if you make a mistake, there's no way you're ever going to succeed because someone's going to get capitalized on it and you're going to lose all your health, right? That's just nuts to me. Like, here I am thinking maybe I'm doing something wrong, you know. No, people are watching the gameplay like, yeah, you're making mistakes for sure. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm definitely having a lot of problems and I'm dropping execution or whatever. But like, no, that's the character. Like, seriously, that's the character. That he's essentially not that good in this game. He's way too much work. He doesn't have the giant punishes other people have. He doesn't have the opportunities the other characters have. Yes, Drive Impact's very powerful against him, and he's basically screwed. Oh. Well, I'm glad I spent 5 hours on it, right? Like, that frustrates the shit out of me. It does. And if anything, you know, that's the first little bit of crack in the armor of Street Fighter 6 for me, that it seems like there's definitely going to be characters that are not well balanced, that are going to be weak at first, but here's what's going to happen. They're going to end up rebalancing everything in this game. They always do. They end up rebalancing these games, so maybe they're going to give him more tools. Maybe they're going to make it so that more of his moves are 2-in-1 cancelable. Maybe they'll make it so he uses less drive meter. Because if he used the less drive meter per special move that has overdrive, he'd be able to do a lot more. I was constantly burning out and running out of meter using Dhalsim. And it's like, because that's what the funny part is, everyone's like, I don't know what you're complaining about, Phil. Rushdown isn't a big deal, just block. You can't just block. It kills your drive meter. Blocking kills your drive meter, and then when it's done, now they can guard break you constantly with drive impact wall bounces. And you're effed. You can't do anything. So it's people who say shit like that just don't play the game. They don't even know what the hell they're talking about. You can't just block the entire round. It doesn't work that way. You have to get them off of you somehow. So, it's pretty crazy, right? It is. It's pretty nuts. And sadly, yeah, I'm kind of at this situation where it's like, damn, I not to feel like I wasted 5 hours. I don't want to say that. I don't think I wasted 5 hours yesterday. But I feel like, man, that sucked because I was coming back from a stressful weekend of losing a stream and a half of streaming. I rushed into trying to play Dhalsim. All right. And I'm at a point now where it's like, I really wish that I had done something different or another character so I at least could have got back into the groove. Because what ended up happening was I was already stressed out. I was already not feeling good. You know, I rushed home. I had planned to have a day out with my wife. I rushed home because the internet came back to play Street Fighter for you guys. And it didn't feel like it was something that was well planned or well executed. So here I am trying to learn the character. I'm stressed out. I'm screaming. I'm swearing. I'm freaking out at every little thing that's happening. You know, and like I said, sadly, the trolling yesterday was definitely out of control. We had trolls taking advantage of the situation who were showing up and basically doing stuff because they knew the mods weren't going to be here because no one knew I was going to be streaming. You know, so it makes me act poorly because I'm already stressed out, and now I'm trying to use an incredibly stressful character to use, and it's just not working out, right? And then, in addition to that, on the late stream, yeah, support was very, very slow at first, and because of that, here I am going back to my old ways, talking about support and stuff, which I shouldn't have been doing, and it just got, you know, worse and worse to the point where at the end of the night, I felt miserable. Really, I did. I felt like at the end of the night that I had failed you guys. I tried to come back and put out an entertaining day of Street Fighter, and I don't know if I really succeeded in doing that because of the character I selected, you know? And that sucks, but here's the thing. You don't give up, you regroup. You don't throw in the towel. You reapply yourself, right? Today, is a normal day. My internet is working. I get to do a regular podcast today. I get to actually relax with you guys because today we're doing Zelda on the first stream and we're going to make good progress in Zelda today and we're going to interact and have a good time together. And it's not just about being stressed out and all this shit. Today we get back on track, correct? And that's how I feel like, listen, you have a bad day, as long as you can come back from it, it's all good. You don't let it bring you down, you don't let it hold you back. And yesterday was a bad day. I would say, yeah, the last 48 hours sucked, right? But you come back from it positively and better. And I apologize again for being so stressed out and not being myself yesterday. I know that was the case. I felt it on the streams. And I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't be overly negative. I shouldn't be stressed out. The trolls definitely were getting to me because, like, dude, these trolls won't fucking shut up. And I can't moderate while I'm playing a fighting game. I just can't. I have to be concentrated on the game. I can't be looking at the chat constantly. So they definitely took advantage of that for sure. All right. So, sorry. I hope today's a better day. I would think today will be a better day, all right? So that being said, let's now get to what's going on today. But before we do, I'll give you a little epilogue to the internet outage story, okay? So, first of all, I didn't learn about what actually had happened to the internet from my internet company, Comcast. I found it out from a news story from my local news organization who posted it up on the internet and said, a vandal apparently decided to damage or cut internet lines. A vandal. A random asshole actually went up a pole and cut internet lines for no reason. No reason. Just to do it. That's what the news story said anyway. And apparently my internet company has absolutely no backup or redundancy plan for that to happen. So at any moment, if a line goes down, there's just an outage. There's no backup plan. There's no rerouting of internet. There's nothing, I could see, okay, a pole went down. All right, it's going to take us a couple hours, but we'll reroute, and now you'll have internet back by tonight. Oh, no, we don't have a plan for that. If the internet goes out, it's just out. And they had to physically rerun wires because apparently the wires were damaged to the point where they had to replace them. So they had to rerun fiber optic wires and replace them. And it took them upwards of, 18 to 20 hours to do so. And once that happened, then all the internet worked again. It's like, so you have literally no backup plan whatsoever for anything at all. And you're running like $1 billion company, right? $1 billion of money, customers every day paying you, and you have no backup plan whatsoever. Now, the funniest part about all of this, okay? You ready for this? The funniest part about all of this is that, again, I learned that the internet was back from my neighbors. My internet came back roughly 1 p.m. Pacific time yesterday. Do you want to know what time Comcast texted me? 7:45 p.m. when I was already into my second fucking stream on the restored internet. That's when they texted me to tell me my internet was back. 6 to 7 hours late. That's when they got around to texting me to telling me that the internet was back. No fucking shit, Sherlock. So, if you want to talk about awful customer support, this is probably a prime example of that. A company that made no effort to reach out to the customers to even tell them the internet was down. That constantly promised them the internet would be up by a certain time frame, and then just kept bumping the time. Instead of saying, we don't know, we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, they kept overpromising and underdelivering again and again and again and again and again. Then they have a service set up saying, we'll tell you when the internet's back, and they don't do that either. So it's like every step of the line is a fail. No redundancies, nothing to help the customer whatsoever. Call our customer service line. You want to talk to a person, we hang up on you. It's fucked up. And the sad fact is, I really don't have any other options. I just don't. They're the fastest internet company out here. It's not like I have an option where I can swap out. There's a satellite internet, which would be just as bad as my cell phone. It would be dropping constantly, awful quality. I wouldn't even be able to stream right now. I wouldn't be doing this stream right now if I had satellite internet, it just sucks. And a lot of people in this country are in this situation. There's just not enough options. First of all, unlike other countries, our internet is not owned by the government and maintained by it. In Japan, for example, it is, and they have some of the best internet in the entire world. We don't have that. We have a bunch of companies competing, but because of that, we essentially have completely inconsistent internet all over the country. All right? And, oh, this is hilarious. Rip the Jacker says, you're being harsh. It's a tiny company. Comcast only had $120 billion in revenue last year. Leave them alone. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry I'm punching down at these guys. I'm really sorry. You know, I'm really squashing some ants today with my criticisms. Anyway, oh, by the way, here's something else, too. All right? You used to be able to contact Comcast customer support via Twitter. They shut that off. Do you want to know why? Elon Musk. Because when Elon Musk bought Twitter, he changed everything. He started limiting the amount of private messages you can get in a day. He started charging companies exorbitant amounts of money to use Twitter for business purposes. So all companies shut off their customer support on Twitter. It doesn't exist anymore. So you now have to go through logging into a website that won't load on your fucking phone, and you can't talk to a human at all. You're not allowed to speak to a human at all. It's all automated now. So basically, Elon Musk, in all his really great wisdom buying out Twitter, fucked up a way that people used to get legit customer support for things. Over the years, I always got my customer support for my internet through Twitter. I always contacted Comcast Business through a DM. They would get back to me within an hour or two. We'd talk about the details, and that's how we got everything. We got appointments set up through there. Doesn't exist anymore. Completely done. Yeah, fucked up, isn't it? Thanks, Elon, you fucking genius. Asshole. Anyway, so, you know, it is what it is. It was a shitty weekend, but now we're back on track. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let us get to talking about the schedule for the rest of the week. Because now this is a weird week, because now everything's thrown into disarray. Here's the deal. Today, we got a podcast we're going to finish up. And then after that, it's going to be a 3-hour chill stream of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Yes, we are finally going to get to the mission we've been trying to do for a week. We're at this temple with Impa, and we have a shrine to do. And then after that, we're going to complete this temple challenge. And apparently, once you complete the temple, then you get all of the story-based dragon tier locations unlocked on the world map. We found probably at least half of them, but this will unlock the other half, so we'll be able to go to those locations, get those story mementos, and once you get all those, I guess it really moves the story forward. And I think people are saying it's essential if you want to get the Master Sword in the game, you need to do them all. Well, obviously, I want to know the whole story of the game, so this is something we're going to focus on, okay? So that's the focus for today. Tonight on the late stream, yes, it's more Street Fighter 6, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to go back to Marisa, and I'm going to do a 2+ hour stream of Marisa tonight. And I hope I do well. I'll be honest, I haven't looked up any videos or anything. Maybe during the break, I'll try to look up some videos of Marisa, higher level gameplay, look for the highest level Marisa ranked players and stuff, and see what they're doing. I like the character build. I do know some good combos. Sadly, though, I don't really know great strategies in every situation. I do feel like she has some worse matchups. And I don't feel like I know the best combos with her. I know some, but I don't know all. So maybe looking up some videos during the break or whatever would be beneficial. We'll see what I have time for. So we'll go from there. And hopefully tonight, Marisa's stream is much better than the Dalzine streams yesterday. Okay? Now, tomorrow, Tuesday, is my final consecutive streaming day of the week before my day off. I know you're going to be saying, what? Yeah, I know. It's a weird week. It was only going to be a 5-day streaming week to begin with, and losing my internet for a day really screwed me over. All right? So tomorrow, the daytime stream will be Street Fighter 6. And I guess the question is, what do we want to do? Do we want to go back and maybe play Blanca again? Maybe a little bit of Lily, maybe Marisa, maybe go back and play some Zengi, you know, because I don't think at this point it makes sense to try a new character this week. I think that's kind of shot, right? So maybe just go back and play with some of the characters I've been doing good with, try to do another good session with them, and a 3+ hour multiplayer stream tomorrow. Tomorrow night on the late stream, it'll be the continuation of Diablo. And I know it sucks because I was supposed to do 2 streams of Zelda and 2 streams of Diablo each, and essentially now you're only getting 1 stream of Zelda and 1 stream of Diablo this week, and I apologize for that. That's what happens when your internet goes out. It screws everything up. So, sorry. But let's have a good chill 2 days of gameplay. You know, I'm off on Wednesday. When I come back on Thursday, all day long on Thursday, I'm playing Final Fantasy 16. It comes out Thursday, and I don't know that much about it, but everyone says it looks like it's going to be great, and I'm excited for it, and I've been told the intro is about 2 hours long, so if I don't really do both streams, I won't even get into the game, so we're playing it all day long. Then this Friday, all day long, it's going to be Street Fighter 6, so it's going to be Street Fighter Friday. That's what we're going to call it, Street Fighter Friday. So all day Thursday, Final Fantasy 16. All day Friday, Street Fighter Friday. All right? Then Saturday, it'll be DSP versus the internet, and probably the late stream on Saturday will be Zelda. And then Sunday, the daytime stream will be Final Fantasy, and the late stream will be Diablo. And then Monday will be Street Fighter 6, and the late stream will be Zelda. You see? And we'll alternate like that. Now, next week is an extended streaming week again. A 7-day streaming week. So I'll be here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 7 days. So there'll be good amounts of Final Fantasy 16, good amounts of Street Fighter 6, good amounts of the other games. Everything will be played a good amount. Okay? So hopefully this all equates to great amount of gameplay, great amount of progress, right? And hopefully everyone will be satisfied. I mean, the truth is, I know I can't please everybody, right? I can't. But hopefully, with the amount of gameplay I'm going to put in the next week, including a new release of Final Fantasy 16, then hopefully things will go well. All right? Lutheus, thank you for the super chat. I shout out all contributions at the end of the show. I see what you're saying, that you tried to put a message in the super chat and it didn't work, so now this is your message. He says, what do you recommend for a fight stick for Street Fighter 6? I don't. I'm not enough in the know to tell you what a good fight stick is these days. I use a Hori Fight Stick Alpha on the Xbox Series X. It also works on the S and PC. It's good, but I don't know if it's the best. I couldn't answer that question. You'd have to do research yourself. I've been out of the loop for competitive fighting games for a very long time, so there you go. He also says he did his yearly watch through Project 7. It's awesome. I'm glad you enjoy it to this day. As campy and crappy as it was, I still think it was a pretty funny endeavor. Okay. So, folks, that's the schedule. Now, a couple other things. I will be reviewing Avatar: The Way of Water. I finished watching it the other night, and I will be putting out my review of it either tonight or tomorrow, likely tomorrow, over on DSP Reacts. So if you've been looking for the next cool movie review, that's coming either tonight or tomorrow. In addition, a fan gifted me a digital copy of the Dungeons & Dragons movie. I think it's called Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves or something like that. I don't even know what it's called, but I can watch it. So I will. In fact, I'll probably watch it next week, and I'll probably review that next week on DSP Reacts. Okay? In addition to all of this, please remember that coming up on Sunday, July 2nd, it is DSP's DSP, also known as my Digital Summer Party. And during this event, it will be a fun marathon-style stream here on DSP Gaming. And we're going to do so much fun stuff. I'm going to be having some special things and festivities in place for this event that aren't usual things. You're going to see. I'm not going to spoil. We're going to be doing a schedule update where I'm going to go through the game schedule releases for all the rest of the year and tell you which ones I'm interested in and get the dates set in stone so we know exactly what I'm playing when. All right? During this event, if we get a certain level of support, I'll probably take shots like we do usually do during these silly marathons. I don't know what shots. I'm thinking whiskey or something this time. I don't know. We're going to be doing tier makers. So I'm going to probably be ranking some kind of food. I'm thinking like ranking American-style foods like mac and cheese versus, barbecue versus fried chicken, stuff like that. But I need to look in to find a good one. I'm sure there's going to be a few good ones that I can use on tier maker for that, but I have to find them. So we're going to do that. Maybe another one. Maybe we'll do the Street Fighter tier maker as well, where we actually rank the Street Fighters against each other now that I played Street Fighter 6, right? We could do that. In addition, there probably will be some Street Fighter 6 gameplay. It won't be a ginormous part of the marathon, but I feel like throwing in a little bit of fun online play of Street Fighter 6 would be warranted. Maybe we'll even try to set up like a fan lobby where people can join and I fight against the viewers for the first time. Maybe we can attempt that during the marathon. If it doesn't work, no big deal, right? Maybe we'll do that. In addition to that, we're going to have food. My wife is going to make at least 3 different recipes. And already we're discussing what she's going to make. And we already came up with some really good ideas. We did. We came up with 3 pretty good ideas of things that she can make for the event. And I think one of them is going to be like a quick thing. One of them will be maybe not. We're definitely going to have a dessert. I can tell you that. There absolutely is going to be a dessert that's going to be during the event. And that's going to be fun. That'll probably be to close the event. But we're going to have some other things in there too. Okay, so multiple kind of feasting with Phil / mukbang / summertime recipe tryout videos, whatever the hell you want to call it. That's also going to happen during the event. Okay, So it's going to be a good variety of stuff that's going to happen during that event. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a party atmosphere, a summertime vibe. I hope that you'll come and join me for DSP's DSP Sunday, July 2nd. Mark your calendars. Don't miss it. It's going to be an exciting marathon event here on the channel. Okay, and of course, good news about that, it's going to make content. There's going to be content for both here and DSP Reacts that will be spread up and thrown, spread out over the week. Okay. Oh, really? Stormforce Gamer says the Tears of the Dragon don't appear on the map in Zelda. There's a map carved onto the floor. Take a photo with it of your phone camera, and then you can actually just apply it and know where they are in the open world. I guess that works just as well, except I have to use my phone, but I guess that's all right. Thanks for telling me, Stormforce, because people were telling me that it did actually populate on the map. I guess not. I was lied to horribly. Horrible lies. And they're not Todd Howard's sweet little lies. It's a horrible lie. How dare you lie to me? Excuse me. Okay. Now, have I covered everything? I think I've covered everything. I think we can finally get to shout-outs. Okay? So let's do it. First of all, let's do the YouTube side of things. So, shout-out to Parasolo, who re-upped his membership for a whopping 25 months. And he says, what's your favorite sci-fi game of all time? Oh, that's a tough question. Because, first of all, you have to ask, what quantifies as sci-fi? Like, obviously, you could probably say, like, Star Wars, Star Trek is sci-fi, right? What about Alien? Is Alien, the Alien franchise, sci-fi? If that's the case, remember the Alien horror game we played? I can't remember what it was called. Alien... What the hell was it called? I can't even remember what the hell it was called. But that was really good, right? What about Fallout? I mean, technically, Fallout kind of is sci-fi. I mean, it's post-apocalyptic sci-fi, but it's still sci-fi, you know? So maybe Fallout. I don't know. It's really hard because I would need to have a list of, like, here's the major franchises that are considered sci-fi, and then I have to rank them. But I think overall, if I think of, like, everything in my head, right? I'd probably go with Mass Effect, even though Andromeda sucked so hard. I think if you think sci-fi, that's the biggest, most mainstream, you know, very popularized franchise that was mostly sci-fi, you see. So I'd probably go with Mass Effect. Cheetah Man became a member for 7 months, and he says, Happy Monday to all. Well, thank you, Cheetah Man. Happy Monday to you. Good to have you here. Original Recipe. We have the membership for 2 months. A shout out to all Mandem. What in the hell is it? Oh, Mandem? If you're saying Mandem, you spelled it wrong. All of Mandem, like you know, the Kingdom of Man or whatever, that's incorrect. I actually have no idea what he's saying. But thank you, Original Recipe, for a 2-month membership. Lutes, thank you for the super chat. I already answered your question because you asked it separately. Thank you for that. Captain DCW re-upped his membership for 25 months. Thank you, Captain DCW, for over 2 months of support. And by the way, super supporter level. I really appreciate that extra level. And then Drew did a super chat saying I should go on someone's channel for an audit. No. How about that? How about I make my content on my channel and you mind your own goddamn business and don't talk about my finances because they're none of your fucking business. There you go. Let's continue. And sorry if you feel that's harsh. It's just true. People trying to pry into my fucking private life should need to mind their own goddamn business and leave me alone. It's pretty pathetic, actually. Okay, so continuing on. I received a... Okay, so overnight. This is absolutely correct. Okay, let's see here. So... So, this is from Game Tracker, okay? And it's a $29.99 tip, but of course we're still going to play the $20 tip animation for Game Tracker, okay? I'll count it as 30. And Game Tracker says the following. Alright, since we're going to be offline for most of the day, I guess my tip today will end up counting towards Zelda. But really, Zelda can have it, especially with everything that you went through with your schedule this week. Anyway, yeah, this was pretty unfortunate what happened with your Dalsim yesterday. Unsurprisingly, I haven't watched all of it, but I got the gist when skimming through your count. 60 wins, 58 losses. That is still a positive record for the day overall, but only barely. To be honest, I've been worried Dhalsim might not continue to work well for you. He's so tough to control optimally, and he has terrible defensive options once knocked down or cornered. In my opinion, he can't really just zone in the game. His zoning at high level is more there for stray hits before he can set up into a risky, tricky pressure setup. As for what's coming today, I'm very pleased with your decision to make tonight's stream all Marizo. Let's see how that goes. There you go. No, I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying is, it seems like you need to start a zone, but it's not going to work the entire match. And once the characters, your opponent gets near you, you're pretty boned. Like, you have to rely on them making a mistake. Because if they don't, and they're just doing basic stuff, and even guessing, because that's what happened to me a lot yesterday. You could tell these are people who get, oh, I just jumped randomly. And, oh, it just so happened you were throwing out your limb, and now I get a giant punish combo. Or, oh, you were mid-screen, you were throwing out a normal, and it just so happened I would just randomly try drive impact. And the first time it didn't work, but then the second time I mashed it out, it did, and I got a 60% punish combo. And it's like, Dhalsim doesn't get to do that. Dhalsim doesn't get to do that shit. He has to work so hard to even get in his single hits that it just doesn't feel fair, quite frankly, you know? And, you know, you could say to some extent, well, Dhalsim's always been like that. That is true, but Dhalsim has always had some tricky things. So, for example, in Super Turbo, no, Dhalsim does not have crazy rushdown. No, Dhalsim does not have insane combos. But he has tricky setups. He even has throw loops and things that make him, that he can be played in a variety of ways. It seems like he just has stark disadvantages in Street Fighter 6. So anyway, thank you very much, Game Tracker. Appreciate that. And hopefully I'll do better tonight. We'll see. Okay. So I got $1 here from the Dan Man. He says, I know that yesterday you were upset. It's understandable. He says, he liked how I told off the trolls. Well, yeah, what was I going to do? And how I told off 672. Well, 672 was purposely trying to get my go. 672 is here, and I mean, he was doing it on purpose. He was saying stuff like, oh, block more and use meter better. It's like, dude, what on earth are you even talking about? Like, you don't even know what he's just saying generic stuff, and he kept spamming the chat saying it. That's not advice. Block more and use meter better. That's not advice. For example, advice would be, block well. When they're doing a combo, it's a high-low mix-up, so be sure to block the high attack first so it doesn't hit you because you're blocking low and the overhead is hitting you. That's advice, not block better. That's not advice. Do you understand? You know? And yes, he was spamming it. He was saying it over and over. It wasn't like he just said it once. He kept saying it in the chat. He was trying to get my go. I'm not stupid. I know what he was doing. But I don't think that he was doing it in a malicious manner. There were definitely trolls here last night who were being very malicious to myself and to viewers. It was really messed up. And we did, on the late stream, have some moderators help with that. But it is what it is. Okay, they took advantage. Yesterday, the trolls absolutely took advantage. And I apologize for that. This was an unforeseen situation. How often do I have my internet out? Like, never. And then have to come back in the middle of the day and no moderators were here. I mean, you're going to have that kind of element, right? Okay. So, I received a $20 tip from Alex from Phoenix. Thank you, Alex from Phoenix, for a very generous tip. Let's get the nice animation for you. Let's add that to the leaderboard. That means it's Gunnar Glass's time before we even started with Zelda today, so that's excellent. Thank you for that. Gunnar Glasses. Okay. He says, hey, Phil, how's the weather in Seattle today? Phoenix is getting its first 100-degree days. Looking forward to the stream. Pretty cool today. Things have cooled down, at least for a few days. I think this Friday, things heat up again, and we get into the 80s and 90s again this weekend. But it is cloudy, cool outside. I'm hoping to not have to use the air conditioner today. I actually have both fans on the air conditioner and the other fan that I have, the oscillating fan. And between them, it's around 77 in here, which is very reasonable. I hope I can keep it that way. If it gets above 80, then I got to turn on the air conditioner. But I guess we'll see what happens. I hope that I can keep it cool enough that I do not have to use AC today. But definitely a better weather day today here in Seattle. Okay. So we've covered all of the contributions. Let's now open up to Q&A in the chat. If you guys would like to tag me in the stream chat and ask me a question, we'll do a little bit of Q&A to end the show. Sound good? CJ, we're all doing good today, as well as we can be. No, see, Real Vibes in morning chat, and Phil, some morning to you, no sleep. Good to see you. Dan Man is hyped for today. I'm actually hyped for Zelda because we haven't played it in a week now, and I wanted to do this damn mission, and we've been stuck not doing it. So I'm actually excited to be able to do the mission now. So Canadian Kirk says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Final Fantasy 16? You know, I have absolutely, positively zero expectations for this game. Do you want to know why? I've completely stayed away from coverage of it. I'm not kidding. Like, I am the least spoiled person on the internet for Final Fantasy 16. I totally just said no. I listened to you guys. You guys have been telling me, looks good, looks interesting, looks unique, graphics are good, gameplay elements seem great. So I'm just listening to what you're saying, but I have not even seen it. I'm serious. So this Thursday, this is ultimate cold turkey reaction. I haven't seen any cinematics. I don't even know who the characters are. I know nothing. So we'll see how it goes. All right? Yes, I've been to a live sports event. Yes, Kat is still playing Diablo 4, so how do you think she felt this weekend when it's her couple of days off of work and she couldn't play the game? She couldn't relax. You know, that's her relaxation days. You know, a couple of days in a row where she had off of work, she didn't have to go to work, and she couldn't play the game because no internet. And guess what? Diablo 4 requires internet to be played, even if you're playing it single player. Isn't that nice? It's pretty fucked up. So, yeah, it sucked. But she's still playing it. I don't know where she is because I haven't watched her play it in a bit. I don't know what's going on with her gameplay through. So. Oh, yeah? I'm being told that the transition to gameplay cutscene in Final Fantasy 16 are unprecedentedly good. Jade, good morning. Good to see you. How are you, Jade? Spawn Killer just did a super chat. He said, would you consider uploading old hard drive ones you found in your closet? Well, we already talked about this, all right? And, sorry, I just got something in my eye. We already talked about this, and after our discussions earlier this year, we determined that we don't want to upload those videos here to DSPGaming. That uploading a ton of old-style videos, short length, old crappy video format wouldn't make sense, and it would just annoy people, all right? What we did talk about was possibly converting my KO Gaming channel, which has been defunct now for like 5 years, something like that, converting that into some kind of a repository for more classic-style content, right? Maybe I could change it into a new name, and it'll be much like I did with, I took my old vlogging channel and turned it into DSP Reacts. So we could take that channel and turn it into a classics channel, and I could upload Red Dead Redemption and the Suicide Kings gameplay series. I could upload L.A. Noire, right, in its entirety. I could upload Lost Media, because we actually found a significant amount of videos, Lost Media, and stuff on those hard drives. But the thing is, I think we should do it separate. I don't think that we should be doing it on this channel at all. And it has to be something that's like, it makes sense to do it. Like right now, in the midst of so much new gameplay and stuff, it doesn't make sense to do it. Maybe in the summertime when things are slower, as kind of a side project, I set up this new channel, I get some new artwork in place, and then I start uploading these classic playthroughs over there, and people can enjoy them if they want, right? I think that would make sense. So, I definitely think that it makes sense to do so eventually. We just haven't had opportunity to do it yet, but that's the approach I'm taking, and we'll see what happens. Okay? Returnal, I'm not listening because here's the thing. He says, why do you think Dalsim's considered top tier? Dude, you understand that in the last 24 hours, I've heard completely conflicting information. A lot of people were saying, oh no, Dalsim's considered D tier. Everyone who ranks him is saying that he's basically like D tier. He's not very good. And now you say, oh no, but he's top tier. I don't care. It's too early in the game to determine who's good. It's that simple. What's going to happen is characters who are easier to use are always going to be ranked higher because ease of use versus damage output, risk reward. Ken is ridiculous. Ken from any range can hit you with one fucking jab, do a dash cancel combo that leads to at least 40% damage from any range on the screen at any time during the match. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not even situational. It's just a rule of thumb for him. He's super fucking good because of his build. You understand? Dalsim, no, you can't do that. Are there ways that Dalsim can get damage? Of course there are. Are they easy? Absolutely not. And he has so many disadvantages, right? Doesn't mean that he's not top tier. I'll give you an example here. T-Hawk in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. For the greater part of 15 years, people actually believed that T-Hawk was bottom tier. And then all of a sudden, in the 2000s, people started learning new strategies with him and actually found out, even though he's the hardest character in the game to play, he's actually top tier because there's this one throw loop you can do that's almost unstoppable for most of the cast. If you get it going, you're fucked. You are just locked down, and as long as your execution is perfect, the enemy can't get out of it. But no one knew that until people practiced the shit out of it, right? So it's very possible that at an incredibly high level, not making any mistakes, capitalizing on every mistake of the enemy, that Dalsim is top tier. That doesn't mean that Dalsim doesn't have insane disadvantages compared to the rest of the cast. You see? Okay. Why don't I play Ken or Ryu? I mean, eventually I might. For me, I'm playing a new fighting game. I don't want to play with the same fucking characters, right? That everyone's using, that are basically kind of easy mode, and you're going to understand how to use them right off the bat with some variations. Like, to me, that's kind of boring. Like, I see Ken and Ryu gameplay, and I'm like, nah. You know, something I'll get to eventually, probably, but nothing that I'm too interested in right now. For now, I'm actually enjoying focusing in on the characters I'm using, because it allows me to get better, and then it allows me to know that I still have lots of content saved up for later. Maybe for the rest of June, I just focus in on Blanca, Marisa, Lily, Zangief, right? Maybe I go back to Dalsim once. You know what I'm saying? You know? But if I focus on those characters and I get better with them, and now I have a good slew of characters, good variety. But let's say now, next month, people are getting bored. All right, guess what? I can move on. Let's pick Ryu. Let's pick Cammy. Let's pick Jury. Let's pick Kimberly. Let's do all these characters I haven't tried yet, right? Guile. I'm actually very interested now in trying Guile. Now that I understand how the dash cancels work, which I didn't really understand in the beta, but now I know. I'm actually pretty interested in trying out Guile again. But yeah, like, I feel like that's the good thing about a game with a wide cast of launch characters. You can focus in on characters right now and get good, but then after you get bored of that, then you can go to the all other half of the cast, right? Honda. Dude, I do want to try Honda again. I only used them the once. And I feel like if I try him again, and I learn his lockdown and his combos and things, I'm going to do better. Of course, I'm in Diamond, which means I'm definitely going to lose a ton and go down to, like, fucking Platinum. But it is what it is, right? Okay. Let's see here. All right. I got another tip. From Radical Marisa fan, also known as Radical Jaws, a $4.20 tip. Let's go ahead and put that up on the leaderboard. Let's see what he has to say. All right, he says, I cannot wait to see you play with Marisa tonight. I see someone at a higher level than I am playing her. I saw the high-rank Marisa mains, but it doesn't really help me because I can't execute those combos well. Currently, I'm Iron 4 stars. It'll be nice to see someone at the mid-rank player. Hopefully you enjoy her playstyle. She's really fun. Yeah, I saw some pretty crazy stuff. I was watching this match where, see me, like the most basic, the most advanced combo I could do with her is like 2 medium punches, dash cancel. 2 medium punches, meter burn, double uppercuts, juggle into the forward moving kick into level 3 super. And I pulled that off a couple of times and it does crazy damage, right? But I saw these corner combos and mix-ups. It's like, she gets you in the corner, she wall bounces you, she hits you twice, then she juggles you at low fierce punch, which makes you flip. And as you're flipping, she has this unique way where she can move in with her phalanx punch at a right angle that puts her at a hit advantage. And now she has an option to either throw with a command throw or try to do medium punches again, which leads to another dash cancel mix-up, or wall bounce. So people were doing this loop in the corner with her that seemed like really strong, and people had to kind of guess to get out. Like, dude, if I can get that loop going, that's going to be, like, amazing. Like, that's going to really help my game, but I need to see people do it more than once. I saw it once, and I don't remember exactly how it was executed. So I'm thinking, man, maybe tonight, you know, maybe during the break, after dinner, I'll jump on YouTube, I'll see what videos I can find, maybe watch a couple Marisa videos and see if I can figure out, you know, some better strategies. I know some okay strategies with her, but nothing too crazy so far. But definitely I need to look up some tech, as they say. Alcidasax just did a super chat. Says, have you ever tore your ACL or any type of knee? Oh, you idiot. You actually tried to get me to say, this? Really? You're fucked up, man. What a dickhead. Well, now he's banned. I mean, what an idiot. And by the way, what I was going to say is not a racist term at all. It wouldn't even have sounded like it. But he's trying to bait me into say something that sounds like the N-word. What an asshole. Like, what a fucking idiot. Like, what a loser. But thanks for the super chat, stupid. Okay. Any new muffins from Costco, says the damn man? No. Last time we went, they didn't have any new muffins. That was a few weeks ago. They didn't have anything new. No, I've never pet a dolphin, Willow. my goodness. That's it. All right. Anything else, guys? Any other final questions here before we adjourn the show and get ready for Zelda? What is this term glizzies? Where did it come from? You guys tell me it means like a big hot dog or something. But I get the feeling, of course, some people use it as a sexual innuendo too. Lady just said, thoughts on Costco glizzies? Well, if you mean the giant Costco hot dogs that they sell, they're good. My wife and I both tried them, not last time, but the time before that we went to Costco a couple months ago, and they were super delicious. Like, and you know, that's actually how we found out how good the Heinz relish is. We never had Heinz relish before, and we put, you know, I said lettuce. Oh my god, we put ketchup, mustard, and relish on our hot dogs, and we're eating them. We're like, dude, why does this taste so good? Like, it's incredibly tasty. So then we ended up buying all that stuff ourselves. So now when we have hot dogs, we have the same toppings at home. But no, those hot dogs are crazy huge. They're like ginormous, you know, foot long, you know, more than bun length long hot dogs, and they're crazy tasty. So no, we have not tried chicken baked churros or ice cream at the Costco food court. Canadian Kirk, no. Green Goblin says, did your ISP compensate you? What makes you think that the ISP is going to compensate anyone for losing a day of internet? Do you really think that they care? What I can tell you is, the way that these companies work is they always try to rope you into contracts and stuff. So pretty soon, I'm going to be contacting them to try to renegotiate my contract and see how I can do. And you could bet that I'm going to bring up the fact that you guys lost me internet for 24 hours. You did not contact me properly to tell me anything about when it was going to be restored. You kept lying to me, leading me to give misinformation to my customers. You cost me business over a weekend, and now you want me to try to renegotiate my contract. Obviously, I'm going to use this as a negotiating tool, you know. But at the same time, is it really going to work? I don't know. Trigger says, do you hope any other Street Fighter characters will make it to Street Fighter 6? For me, it's Sagat. So like I said, I don't know. For me, I would like new characters. I would actually like genuine new character builds rather than just, oh, the same character returning from old Street Fighter. They've been there, done that. Every iteration of Street Fighter, they keep doing that. Bring back all the characters from Street Fighter 2. Bring back characters from Street Fighter 3. Bring back Street Fighter Alpha. No. How about new characters? Genuinely interesting new builds that are different. That's what I would like. No more bring back the same character again and again. I'm tired of that. Oh, I love mole. Yes, mole is really good. It is a Mexican sauce made with peppers and a little bit of chocolate. It's really good, and I love mole enchiladas. I think they're absolutely great. Trigger says, what kind of fighter would you like to see? I want an actual new grappler. Like, for example, remember Hakan? The reason I liked Hakan was because he was a really interesting character because he had great grapple strategies. At the same time, he had some cool juggles and mix-ups that fooled people. Was he great? No. But you could actually outplay your opponent and do really well, and he was an oddball character. I like those kind of characters. An oddball character that's unique. Give me something like that, right? And I would say, to some extent, Minot is kind of like that. Although, admittedly, it seems like she does better against characters who just can't stop throws. And outside of that, she's just kind of not that good, maybe mid-tier, right? But I want a character that legit is a good grappler outside of just, oh, it's Zangief again. Give me a new one, right? Give me an actual grappler character that can hang with the rest. We haven't had one like that in a very long time, I feel. Of course I know what's up. People are like, oh, he knows mole sauce. He knows what's up. Of course I do. Of course I know. Come on. Come on, man. You know me. You know me in cuisine. I'm the master. I'm the master of cuisine. I'm a foodie, but I'm not fat. I'm not skinny, but I'm definitely not fat. It's pretty crazy, huh? Would I like Vega again? Only if they make Vega play like he used to. I want Super Turbo Vega. I don't want Vega who has fucking rounded motions, who has stupid, ridiculous, 14-hit juggle combos. That's not Vega. Vega was meant to be a fast-moving poke character with great defensive options, but also some good ways to get it on the opponent and stay on them. That's what he's supposed to be, a hybrid character that's very fast-moving. He was nothing like that. Street Fighter V, he basically wasn't in the game. Vega was not in the game. You understand? Like, he played nothing like that. So it was really stupid that he was even in there. JD's saying, next month, can you play with Cammy, Jury, Chun-Li? I absolutely want to use Cammy and Chun-Li. I will say that right now. Cammy, my God, that dive kick seems so good and is barely ever able to be stopped by anything besides maybe an overdrive mashed reversal move, and it can lead to a combo every hit. Her jab is ridiculous, and you just get a standing jab. You get a free dash cancel combo off of it, and she has mix-up with her hooligan rolls. Chun-Li just seems really good, too, like, with her mix-ups and solid stuff, but I haven't played her since the first beta, so I don't really know, in the meta of this game how good she is, but I would absolutely like to try both characters. So, and by the way, the classic Chun-Li outfit looks so good in this one. So, yeah, I'm definitely down for that. Cammy and Chun-Li are two that I definitely want to use in the future. And probably Guile, too. I want to give him a shot. Ooh, excuse me. All right. Last chance for any questions, guys. Last chance. And then we're going to take a little break for me to use the restroom. Nature is calling. And then we jump into Zelda. Trigger says if you could do Capcom versus against any crossover studios or studio, what you would do. I don't know. They've been there, done that. They did SNK. They did Tatsunoko, which was freaking weird. They did Marvel of all things, which didn't make sense, but then it did. You know what I mean? Like, it was weird when they did it. It's like, what a weird versus. And then when it came out, it actually was really good. But I don't know. Like, I don't think, like, Street Fighter versus like Mortal Kombat, everyone's always wanted that, but would it really work? Would it be viable? Because the two gameplay engines don't really jive together, right? Street Fighter Cross Tekken was an abomination of a disaster, right? I don't know. What is next to Ryu in the background? That is Street Fighter 2 on the SNES in box. That is a boxed copy of Street Fighter 2. Yes, I own one. How cool is that? Thank you. CJ says, I hope you're well. Statement, not a question. I don't have a favorite Mexican dish, the damn man. There's too many Mexican dishes that are great. I don't have one specific one that is my favorite. Of course, I played Street Fighter Cross X-Men, but it's called X-Men vs. Street Fighter. It's actually one of the most fun versus games, one of the earliest ones. The first one that had the crossover 2v2 engine, and it has insane combos, like absolutely ridiculous. Every character in that game has a ridiculous infinite juggle. Every one. Even fucking Juggernaut and stuff. You think would be slow? Nope. He has an infinite. Every character has a juggle infinite. It's ridiculous. Okay. All right, guys. I think we're going to end it here. I want to say thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for a chill podcast. Thanks for allowing me to explain what happened over the weekend. Again, I apologize wholeheartedly for yesterday. I know yesterday was a very stressful day. Here I am rushing back the day that I thought I was going to have out with my wife, rushing back to work, trying to play a really difficult character, getting trolled, letting that get to me, and then, of course, a lower support stream at the night, and it got to me, and I said dumb shit that I shouldn't have said, and it's all my fault, and I'm sorry for that. Well, not the internet being out. That's not my fault. But definitely my reaction to all of it was my fault, and I'm sorry. I promise to try to do better. And I hope that you guys will continue to hang out with me, all right? Today, a lot more chill day. Thankfully, we get a nice chill stream now instead of the stressful shit. And thanks for watching, all right, everyone? Really enjoyed our time together today. I hope that you enjoyed the show. And now that we're back to normalcy, hopefully things can get back in order. Thanks a lot, and see you next time on the Level 1 Podcast.